Good morning, friends. Today we are going to study what is the structural behavior of high strength concrete columns exposed to fire. So, this is a seminar topic or a mini project topic, or you can use this topic in any level of civil engineering, in any year of civil engineering, for your presentation, for your project work, or anything. So it's a advanced concrete technology topic. So let's start with it. In this topic we are going to learn some fire resistance of high strength concrete. Basically, what is high strength concrete, why do we need high strength concrete, what are the effect of fire on normal strength concrete, what the factors govern the fire performance of high strength concrete, experimental studies, their guidelines, their case studies, the parameters affected by the fire, and finally the conclusion of high strength concrete and normal strength concrete, which is better, which is not. We're going to study about that. Okay, so first is our introduction. You might be thinking, what is HSC or what is high strength concrete? High strength concrete is a type of high performance concrete, generally with a specified compressive strength of 40 megapascal or greater than that, even that is valid, and the compressive strength is measured at 56 days or 90 days or some other specified age depending upon the application of that concrete. Okay, so now we are going to see that why do we need high strength concrete? What are the basic need of high strength concrete? The basic need of high strength concrete is to put the concrete at service at much earlier age. The second need is to build high-rise building by reducing column sizes and increasing available space. The third is to build the superstructure of long span bridges and to enhance the durability of bridge decks. The one of the major use of high strength concrete in buildings is for columns. In recent years, the construction industries has shown more interest in the use of high strength concrete. This is due to the improvements in structural performance such as high strength and durability. That is, it can be provided as compared to normal strength concrete or low strength concrete. Recently, the use of high strength concrete, which was previously in applications such as bridges, offshore structures, and infrastructure projects, has been extended to high rise buildings. So, now we are going to see what are the fire resistance of high strength concrete. Fire resistance can be defined as the ability of the structure element to withstand its load bearing function under fire condition. It is the time during which a structural member exhibits resistance with respect to structural integrity, stability, and temperature transmission. The sorry for this the fire resistance of a structural member is dependent on following factors like geometry, materials used in construction, load intensity, and characteristics of exposing fire. Generally, concrete structure members exhibit good performance under fire situation. Further, the spalling of concrete under fire condition is one of the major concerns due to low water cement ratio in high strength concrete. Fire performance of high strength concrete and spalling of high strength concrete can be affected by the following factors like original compressive strength, moisture content of concrete, heating rate, loading condition, concrete density, and specimen dimension and shape. Now we are going to learn what are the effects of fire on normal strength concrete. There are three major effects on normal strength concrete. First is thermal mismatch, second is decomposition of hydrates, and third is pore pressure. So we will go in details. What is thermal mismatch? When a low strength concrete member is exposed to fire, the temperature gradient across the depth of the section will be built up. The thermal expansion of outer layer of the concrete under a high temperature is partially restrained by the inner layer of concrete under a lower elevated temperature, and this generates tensile thermal stresses in the concrete. The steeper the temperature gradient, the higher will be the thermal stresses. And the concrete is brittle composite material that consists of binder, a cement paste, and aggregates of fine and coarse aggregates. Now we are going to learn what is the composition of hydrates. The mechanical properties of concrete depends largely on the hydration products like calcium silicate hydrate gel, calcium hydroxide, formed mainly during the hydration reaction between cementitious constituents and water. When concrete is exposed to fire attack, free water in the concrete matrix will firstly be removed through a physical process such as evaporation at a lower elevated temperature. As the temperature further increases, disintegration of hydrates and loss of chemical bonded water will take place. The composition of calcium hydroxide occurred at about 350 degrees centigrade. Then the partial volatilization of calcium silicate hydrate gel commenced at about 500 degrees centigrade. The pore size and porosity of hydrate matrix will decrease, and mechanical properties like strength and elastic modulus of the hydrates will be weakened. Moreover, at 573 degrees centigrade, the crystal structure of quartz in a siliceous aggregate transforms from a low temperature phase to a high temperature phase. Such transformation is accompanied by approximately 1% volume increase, which accelerates the disintegration process of the hydrates. Now, we'll go to see what is pore pressure. Pore pressure is developed in a heated concrete, is derived from the evaporation of water within the porous media and from the decomposition of CSG gel and calcium hydroxide. The highest pore pressure occurred between 220 degrees centigrade and 240 degrees centigrade in high strength concrete, and between 190 degrees centigrade and 210 degrees centigrade in normal strength concrete. The maximum pore pressure could reach 3 megapascal for high strength concrete and 1 megapascal for low strength concrete. Low permeability and dense microstructure of high strength concrete are probably the causes for creating high pore pressure, then has been considered as a key factor for explosive spalling of the concrete. The concrete with compressive strength of less than 60 megapascal, no spalling would take place. Now we are going to see what are the factors governing the performance of high strength concrete. There are three major factors governing the performance of high strength concrete, that are fire characteristics, material characteristics, and structural feature. In material characteristics and structural features, we'll go to learn further. First of all, we'll see what is fire characteristics. The type of fire, the free fire size, the high heat output has significant influence on the fire performance of a concrete structural system. The high rate of temperature rise can induce spalling in the concrete members. This is mainly due to the higher temperature gradients that develop within a cross section, which in turn increases the pore pressure generated in the concrete. This effect can lead to significant spalling in high strength concrete. Now we are going to see what are the material characteristics. First, we'll go to see the concrete strength. Strength of concrete has significant influence on fire performance of concrete members. The higher the strength, the higher will be the probability of spalling. Further, the loss of strength with temperature is higher for high strength concrete as compared to normal strength concrete. In highest it can seen that the rate of loss of strength is higher and significant for high strength concrete over the entire temperature range. In addition, the fire induced spalling for high strength concrete is significantly higher than the normal strength concrete. Now we are going to see the silica flume. Based on the fire resistance test, while for normal strength concrete columns, concrete strength of about 40 MPa, a fire endurance is about 6 hours. For high strength column, a concrete strength of about 114 MPa, a fire endurance of only about 4 hours was obtained. In these tests, the extent of spalling was very significant in columns with high silica fume content, about 15%. The higher the silica flume and associated compressive strength increases the content, the extent of spalling and leads to decreased fire endurance. This could be attributed to the fact that the addition of silica fume appears to reduce permeability of the concrete, restricted to loss of moisture during curing, drying and fire test. Now we are going to see some structural features. The risk of explosive thermal spalling increases with specimen size. This is due to the fact that specimen size is directly related to the heat and moisture transport through the structure. Therefore, careful consideration must be given to the size of specimen when evaluating the spalling problem. Lateral reinforcement. Higher fire endurance in high strength concrete columns can be achieved by providing improved tie configuration, provision of bent ties at 135 degrees centigrade back into the core of the column and increased lateral reinforcement and within the closer the spacing. You might see in the diagram the lateral reinforcement, first in the conventional tie configuration and second in the modified tie configuration. These improved tie provision also minimize the extent of spalling in high strength columns. This increased fire endurance and reduced spalling are mainly due to ties holding and the longitudinal rebars firmly in place under fire explosion condition. Column containing over only 90 degree ties would typically lose a significant portion of column section upon failure. Here you may see the diagram for conventional tie configuration and modified tie configuration. You may see the difference of failure. Now we are going to see the load intensity on type. The fire endurance of a reinforced concrete column increased with the decreasing load. This has been confirmed through a member of fire test where a loaded high strength concrete structural member was more susceptible to higher spalling than an unloaded member. Now we are going to see a case study or an experimental studies. In this, the basic information I provided, you may read or go through it. Some of the basic are, there are 3 reinforcement concrete columns. 2 of them are high strength concrete and 1 is normal strength concrete. The cross section is 305 mm size and columns are 3810 mm long, and the dimension of the cross section and other are given in the table. Here you can see the column dimension, column concrete strength in 28 day and in test day, factored resistance, test load intensity and fire. Here you can see the detail of the experiment or the case study. Here he has taken 2 high strength concrete columns of 820 mm longitudinal bars and normal strength column of 420 mm longitudinal bars. In high strength column it is 10 mm ties of 225 mm. In normal strength it is 8 mm ties of spacing 305 mm, and the mix is of batch 1, batch 2, batch 3, and in batch 1, batch 2 it is high strength, and in batch 3 it is normal strength. The batch it is the coarse aggregate in batch 1 and batch 3 was carbonate, while in batch 2 was silicate. And here in this table you can see the batch mix properties: mix 1, mix 2, mix 3 of concrete content, fine aggregate, coarse aggregate, water cement ratio, and admixture, silica fume, super plasticizers. And now we are going to see the test apparatus. In test apparatus, the heat furnace, specially built for testing loaded columns, and the furnace consists of steel framework supported by 4 steel columns, and the test furnace was designed to provide conditions such as temperature, structural loads, and heat transfer to which a member might be exposed during a fire. And the furnace has loading capacity of 1000 ton. Now we are going to see the test condition and the procedures. You can go through that written part. The columns are installed and the end plates are with of the furnace is installed by the bolting at the heating top and the hydraulic jack at the bottom. Then it's the fixed, and the columns are fixed conditions. For each column length exposed to fire approximately 3000 mm, and the effective length is 2000 mm. For high strength concrete column, first it is subjected to 2000 kilonewton load, second is subjected to 1700 kilonewton load, and third is subjected to 1067 kilonewton load. The load was maintained constant throughout the test. Now we are going to see the results and the discussion part. The temperature time curves for external surface and for various depth in concrete are plotted. For all 3 columns, the temperatures inside the column rose rapidly to about 100 degrees centigrade, and then the rate of increase of temperature decreased. And it can be seen that deformation in the high strength columns was slightly less than for the normal strength column. Initially, deformation of the column was mainly due to thermal expansion of concrete and steel, while the effect of load and thermal expansion is significant in the intermediate stages. The effect of creep become pronounced in the earlier stage due to high fire temperature. For high strength first and high strength concrete column 1 and 2, it is 225 and 189 minutes respectively. And yes, in this table you can see the temperature distribution at various depths in normal strength concrete and high strength concrete columns. Here you can see the axial deformation for high strength and normal strength columns. These are the normal strength columns after axial deformation and high strength column after axial deformation. And now we are going to see the guidelines. The high strength concrete columns is a high performance material that offers a number of advantages, like use of normal weight aggregate instead of lightweight aggregate to minimize spalling, add steel fibers to enhance steel strength and reduce spalling, employ both closer tie spacing and cross ties to improve fire resistance, take approximate precaution to prevent spalling when concrete strength exceeds 55 MPa. Then we are in this you are seeing that modulus of elasticity, it is decreased modulus of elasticity of steel with the increase in temperature, and the decrease in yield strength of steel with the increase in temperature. And here you can see the color changes in concrete, like in 0 to 300 degrees centigrade temperature the color is normal, from 300 to 600 degrees centigrade it's pink, 600 to 900 it's whitish gray, and then it goes to bluff. Here you can see the cover requirements or the nominal cover of fire resistance from height 0.5 to 4 meter and so on. So finally our conclusion is normal strength concrete columns performs better than high strength concrete columns in fire condition, but by maintaining some factors or adding some admixtures or by spacing and other things we can just increase the fire resistance of high strength columns, concrete columns. Okay, so guys, here we end the video. Thank you guys. If you like my video, please share and subscribe it, and add comments. Okay, thank you guys, take care.